Boom, there we go. Man, that was quick today. So my name is Kurt Von Annen, and welcome to the Mañana morning check-in. Today is Friday. It's May 14th, 2021. And even though I don't have, here we go, turn that off, get rid of that echo for you. And even though I don't have access to LinkedIn Live yet, I've still been sharing these for the last couple of weeks on LinkedIn. So if you're in the LinkedIn audience seeing the replay, I encourage you to, go to the YouTube, watch on YouTube, subscribe and hit for notifications and stuff like that. I do this on a near daily basis, and it's just great to stay connected. And so today leaves me with one of those weird sensations. Like I just woke up today and things were just off. For instance, my dog's barking in the other room. I hear him through the wall. Usually Fridays, wake up and me and my son go to a father-son mentorship breakfast. That's what we usually do on Fridays. Today I got up and the boy was eating a bowl of cereal. And I'm like, well, I guess we're not going to breakfast today, right? And so he got up early and he forgot that it was Friday and was eating a bowl of cereal. And so I was like, well, hey, do you want to work on your motorcycle then? Since we're not going to go to breakfast, let's work on your motorcycle. So, we put some new handlebars on from Phoenix Handlebars. Big shout out to Jason Gerald for that, right? Jason Gerald for that. And he's with Phoenix Handlebars. The handlebars look fantastic. I mean, it was installed easy. Everything was great. So enough plug for them. But we got those installed this morning and then had some Wi-Fi issues and missed connecting with my first appointment today. That was at 10 o'clock on Zoom, right? So that just kind of throws my bubble off. I'm just like, my bubble's off. And so didn't have the mentorship breakfast, missed my 10 o'clock meeting. Had a 10:45 meeting, called that gentleman, and that gentleman was not having a good day. He forgot that we were having a meeting and he was busy with other things. And I could tell he felt really bad about it. Like he wanted to because it was just a discovery call, right? To figure out who each other is and how we can add value to each other. It's something I offer to all my new LinkedIn connections. Right. And so I just told him, man, based on the day I was having, I thought best I can do for this man is just extend him some grace. I said, dude, this isn't a good day, is it? And he says, nah, I got a lot on my mind. And I said, hey, tell you what, dude, this is just a discovery call. This isn't a big deal. There's no money on the line. So let's just reschedule the call for a day that you are better. And he goes, well, I'm going away for 3 weeks. Well, put the gears together, right? The guy's probably packing the house. He's probably, got wife and kids and a dog and God knows what else. He's going to leave for 3 weeks. And the funny thing about family vacations is you need a vacation when you're done with vacation, right? And so I felt for him and I said, hey, let's just reschedule. Let's just do that, right? And then I went and picked up my daughter. She had a sleepover and went to prom last night, all that stuff, right? And so I'm looking at my day and I'm going, wow, man, this is just not shaping up the way that I expected it to. But I also spent time in the Word. And as I've been saying lately on these sessions, doing the devotional, having a journal, a daily journal, reading scripture on a daily basis. And you know what, if you're not a Christian and you read some other book, you read the Book of Mormon, you read, the Quran, you center yourself and do things with Hindu, whatever the magic is for you, do that, right? So, no matter how bad things are, I can endure anything for a short time. I can endure anything for a day, right? And then I saw Shay Rowbottom's post today. Shay Rowbottom, in case you don't know, she's an influencer. She's really popular on LinkedIn. And I came up and she's like crying. I came in like halfway through the post, I guess, the video. And she's saying, where are the strong men? Where are the strong men at? We can't let this keep happening. We can't let toxic femininity, destroy the things it's destroying, and all of the things, you can tell that she's upset and she's saying, where are the strong men? How come people aren't putting their foot down? How come people aren't doing their thing? And it hit me who I've been talking to this week, right? I talked to a guy named Shane Robb earlier in the week. Shane Robb hooked me up with a guy named Brandon. I think his last name is Zabel, right? So he hooks me up with Brandon Zabel. And Shane and Brandon are working on putting a podcast together that is based on, I think, this morning show that they do on YouTube called Morning Man, right? And so Morning Man is kind of like that. It's kind of like the if you remember the John Eldridge book that came out, right, Wild at Heart, it's kind of like that, right? So Brandon and Shane and myself, we all had conversations, kind of in this way of thinking. Now I'm watching stuff on the news, and you've heard me say this or say that in some of these lives before. Like for instance, I'm not a candidate for the vaccine. I'm just not, right? I'm not about compliance, and I'm not trying to just be contrarian, right? Because I don't like rules, but I took a look at my health, my family, our living situation, took a look at, our beliefs, our faith system, and I took a look at who was putting things forward and what overall, right? Searching beyond Google, overall information I could find on these things. And so weird. I said, I'm just not a candidate for this. I don't want to do it. So much so that I drove to Texas for work instead of flying to Texas for work, right? That's how strongly I felt about it. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with, trying to get on an airplane and I'm going, well, where's your, certificate of vaccination and all this stuff. I'm not a candidate. Okay. So then, Ohio says they're going to enter people in $1 million lottery if they get vaccinated. You want to pay people to get vaccinated? I thought this was something they needed. Now you're trying to bribe them to do it, right? De Blasio, says, how about vax with a side of fries? And makes a commercial about getting a cheeseburger and French fries if you get vaccinated for free. And I thought it was a joke. I mean, I'm so calloused. I thought it was one of those deep fake jokes. I didn't realize that was real. And then I saw Shay Rowbottom's thing, and I was like, you know what? I've already pulled my kids out of a school system that was failing us, and I've already decided not to be a candidate for the vaccine. And, I talk to you guys frequently about, my faith and being a man of faith and making decisions based on faith. And that I know that if I sow enough seed in my business, I'll see a harvest. I've already told you that I applied for work last year and didn't get the job because I'm not a person of color and I'm not female, right? And so when I saw Shay's post today, I thought, is this the reason I didn't do a Mañana no Mas morning check-in earlier? Right? Like, because everything happens for a reason, right? Is this the reason I didn't do my Mañana no Mas morning check-in earlier? Is it because I really just needed Shay's inspiration to kind of put the exclamation point on things and bring it together? Folks, if you are finding that you align with some of the things that I say, and remember this, right? If I were to say I was opposed to gay marriage, that wouldn't mean that I hated gay people, right? If I were to say I don't think we should use, what do they call it? Puberty suppression, right? They were talking about that the lady that's working with Biden. We should give students puberty suppressants so they can wait, to go through puberty until they know what sex they want to be. Okay. I don't believe that. I think that's nonsense. Now, that doesn't mean I hate transgendered people, right? I believe that some people maybe could have had a chromosomal issue or could have had a mental issue that makes them feel that they would be happier as another sex. And if that option's available to them and they can live that and make that happen, okay, right? But to chemically alter every child in the school system because what if, this child wants to be a boy or a girl later, right? That's bizarre to me. And when I heard that they were talking about people, as being birthing persons right before Mother's Day, I thought, how insulting, right? You're going to take someone with the quality of my wife, the queen of my home, and you're going to rate her based on whether she's a birthing person or not. Like, that's bizarre. She's so much more than someone that can give birth, right? So a lot of things have been on my mind, but here is what I always come back to. You got to have the silver lining on the cloud. You got to have opportunities within the obstacles. You have to have solutions that go with your complaints. For instance, when I wasn't happy with the school system and I felt that the school system in Southern California had horribly mistreated my children, I didn't, picket in the streets and throw a fit and yell and scream on social media, but I did find options and take physical steps to take them out of the school system and put them into a school system that I knew would meet their needs better. right? Find an opportunity within the obstacle, right? When we talk about things like, golly gee, I applied for a bunch of jobs and the interviews I did get went really well, but then I found out later that they were looking for diversity for that position instead of a 53-year-old white male. I could have hit social media and cried and yelled and hired an attorney and tried to sue people and try for reverse discrimination and all of these things, which honestly to me stem from negativity. And I want to focus on positivity. So what did I do? I said, you know what? I've got a skill set, right? I've had tons of jobs. I have a lot of skills. I have a skill set and I know how this thing works, right? Because I've been talking to you guys for more than a year already. So I know how this works and I feel fine on camera. So I led with my entrepreneurial spirit. Mañana no Mas is moving and grooving, right? The Power Sports Academy is, becoming more and more solid as every week goes by. And then we've got the Challenge Connection as our new tool that we're trying to, kind of help people do their social challenges without the constraints of big tech censoring them and keeping their material more organized in a more organized infrastructure, right? So all the things for activity 1 stay in activity 1, all the things for activity 2 stay in activity 2, instead of getting mixed up in a first in, first out file on social media, right? And so I look at all that. And again, it's opportunity through the obstacle and then try to follow through with positive action to counteract a negative circumstance. And so if there's anything that I can bring to this conversation, and again, it's partly inspired by Shay, right? But to me, it's not enough to just say, where are all the strong men? Stand up, stand up. Stand up and do what? Stand up and offer something positive to the conversation, right? It's not enough to say, well, I'm a white Christian male, and so I believe that, this and this and this are wrong, right? No, I think a more proactive approach to this would be, I'm a white Christian male, and I believe, this and this are more advantageous ways to focus on the nuclear family. Or, let's take a look at where we succeeded as a nation, and let's take a look at some of those practices and how my Judeo-Christian values fit into those and why that's a good way to move forward. And so those are the types of things you hear from me anyway. Right? When I talk to you about goal setting, when I talk to you about leadership, when we have conversations about, key performance indicators and how to analyze things and use critical thinking to make good decisions, that all stems from a core knowledge, a core belief that comes through my faith set, right? A lot of this is stuff that I've learned through the John Maxwell organization. And I love the John Maxwell organization, right? But I went through that program in 2016. That was 5 years ago. So obviously, I've had to grow and develop my own pathway and find the path that works best for me. Now, I know this is a lot. This is a kind of a heavy talk for a Friday, right? Usually I say, hey, it's Friday. Have a great weekend. Ciao, peace. And I'm done. But today I just felt like the day got off to a weird start. The, problems with the internet, distractions. And then I heard that message with Shay and I saw some comments come through and I thought, here we go. We need to, I need to be more solid in describing the foundations of where a lot of my ideologies come from and how I share them with you. So folks, I hope you have a great weekend. And, I'll be back on Monday. And I'm trying to figure out what the next kind of like new series or theme of the daily email is going to be next week. So if you've got any great ideas, or if there's something you really need some information on, I'd love for you to hit me up, go to Mañana no Mas, hit the contact link and drop me a note, right? Or you can hit me up on LinkedIn on my account, Facebook, YouTube, pop me a comment and let me know what kind of subject matter you'd be really most interested in. And then I can kind of go that way with the content that we've got. All right, folks, you guys